So today we are going to talk about life on the inside passage of Alaska. We have three different options for you to enjoy this year. One is, of course, the large cruise ships with Celebrity. They carry roughly 2,200 people. Uh, the best is the Alaska Dream cruise, which carries about 45 people. And the third option would be the Platinum Inside Passage, which carries anywhere from 24 to 40 people maximum on it. Uh, so I will start with probably the Alaska Dream Cruise because that's probably the most elaborate of them all. But to give you a little background of who we are and why we're here is that we are a family operation. Myself and my three children compose the company. And I actually made my first trip up to Alaska in 1955 when I rode with my father uh, following an egg truck. We shipped eggs from a little town called Foley, Minnesota, up to Fairbanks, Alaska. And he asked me if I wanted to ride with him when I was 12 years old. And I just went absolute, fell in love with Alaska. So I always said I wanted to go back. And of course, in 1958 or 1955, Alaska was not a state, it was a territory at the time. But I bought my first motor coach in 1982 and started doing local tours. And then in 1983, we did an Alaska tour and a Florida tour. And I wanted my children to have the same experience I did. So I started taking them up to Alaska. John went up, he's my oldest boy. He went up when he was 8 years old. Joseph went up when he was 6 years old. And the only girl in the family, she got to go up when she was 6 years old. So all three of my children cut their eye teeth in the state of Alaska. They probably all made a dozen trips before they graduated from high school. They worked for me through the high school years in the tour office, and then they went into their secondary education, got established, but they all missed Alaska so much. They all started coming back one by one. So John was the first one that came back, then Joseph, and I actually had to recruit Elizabeth. She has her master's degree in business and worked for a university up in Minnesota. So that's how I ended up with three great business partners uh, in our Alaska tour travel business. But like I say, today we're going to talk about the inside, and you're going to have your options of traveling on one of these mega ships. Um, the biggest one we operate into Alaska is 2,200. There are some 5,000 passengers, such as this one over here that goes up. But we're going to be on roughly a small ship in today's market. But first one we're going to talk about is the Alaska Dream. And the Alaska Dream Cruise is a privately owned company out of Sitka, Alaska. It was founded by a family, and it's down in the third generation of the family now. But these vessels are going to get you into parts of Alaska that no other cruise ships can go. And as I said, there's a maximum of 45 people on board. So a lot of people always go in a little early or stay a little later and they want to go fishing. Alaska is an incredible place to go fishing, whether you're going to fly fish in the Kenai River for rainbow trout, or out in Kodiak or Sitka, or Seward for king salmon, silver salmon, halibut, etc. So that's an option that we can do for. Well, that's kind of an overview of what you're going to see and do on the or excuse me, on the Alaska Dream Cruise. If you have a catalog, that's going to be on the Admiralty Dream this year and next year. John, my son John, and I did a shakedown cruise on that in 2012 to see if we could use it in our program, and we saw so much. I've probably done 50 cruises on Holland America, Celebrity, Princess, Royal Caribbean, and Disney. And we saw more in 7 days on this boat than we did in 350 days on the big cruise ships, because we're able to get in and show you the real Alaska. We get close to the shore. You're going to see incredible wildlife. You saw all the whales. Those are in Frederick Sound, which is the greatest whale feeding area in Alaska, and it's just really incredible. What you saw is exactly what you would see on this vessel. Everything is included: the jet boat on the Stikine River, kayaking, those dibs, those little motorized rafts that we get out and get close to. You're going to intermingle with the Tlingit natives of Southeast Alaska and learn their culture, which is very important. So it's really a wonderful experience. As I said, they only seat 45 people on the vessel. There's three levels on board. The bottom level is you have the dining room and the cocktail lounge. There are 4 cabins here. They do not have a walkout balcony. They have a window, but that's usually where one of our tour managers will stay. And then anybody who has trouble, uh, maybe a wheelchair or walking device, uh, would be in here. All these next levels and the top level all go right out onto the doors, go right out onto the deck. Uh, and I'll guarantee you, the only time you're going to spend in that room is when you're asleep or taking a shower or maybe using the facility. But everything is so beautiful outside, you really don't want to be inside. But there's four types of cabins, as I said. The the This is on the first deck. This would be your A cabin or double A, triple A cabin. So they have two single beds, and then the window and door go right outside. Uh, this is your double A. You have your choice of either two single beds, or they put them together as a queen bed. So you have a window on the side, and then everything goes out on the deck that way. Also, the AAA cabin would be the queen size, same thing. All your meals, of course, are included. Have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the dining room. Everybody will eat at the same time because we're only 45 people, so we're very very close knit group. There's also the cocktail lounge in the front of the ship. Beautiful views. We have cocktail hour every night with at 5 o'clock with hors d'oeuvres, etc. So that's just a few of the good parts of the ship. Uh, all of the sailings include. You'll have one of my cruise managers on it. We have naturalist expedition leaders that'll uh, guide us through, and when we're getting off the ship, like in Wrangell or wherever, and they'll be taking you through. We have educational presentations on board, chef-inspired cuisine, Alaska cuisine. Like I say, daily social hour with beer and wine and hors d'oeuvres. Use of rain gear in your room and binoculars will be in your room. All the gratuities for the staff are all included. Daily shore excursions are all included. Yeah, you're not paying for anything like you do on the big cruise ship. So we will be cruising on the inside passage, very close to shore, seeing a lot of wildlife and incredible marine life. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to fly into Juneau. So let's say you're going to do this with a land tour. So you finish the land tour, and then included in that tour would be airfare via Alaska Airlines from Anchorage to Juneau. We'll overnight in a hotel in Juneau. The next day, we will actually go up into Glacier Bay through Icy Strait Point. Spend the day in Glacier Bay, actually coming down. We'll have dinner at the Orca Point Lodge. Then we'll continue down, and we're going to go into Tracy Arm Fjord, and we're going to see two beautiful glaciers in here: the North Sawyer Glacier and South Sawyer Glacier. Then we'll come down through Stevens Pass. We'll head into Hobart Bay, come down through Frederick Sound. This is the most populated whale area in Alaska because of the food source. So we'll spend some time as we come down, and then we'll continue down into Wrangell. In Wrangell, we're going to board jet boats, and we're going to go up the Stikine River to a glacier right back here. And we're so close to that you can actually reach out and touch that. Then we'll come back into Wrangell, spend a little time in Wrangell, come back up into Frederick Sound. We'll go into Cake. Again, we're going to be whale watching out here in this area again, and then we'll go up Chatham Strait. This is another great whale watching area right through here, and then we'll go up in Carroll Strait, down through the Narrows here, and into the old city of Sitka. Sitka was the original Russian capital of Alaska before we bought it. So we'll spend some time in Sitka and then a fly home from there. So that's the routing that we'll take on the Alaska Dream cruise. Sitka is a great little community. Like I say, it was the original capital of Russia.
Hey, Senior, I'm gonna have you
Yeah.
move your computer a little closer to you. You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, I am.
Yep.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yep.
So Sitka was the original Russian capital of Alaska, and we're going to tour it. This is St. Michael's Russian Orthodox Cathedral, the largest in the state, if you will, and we're also going to visit. This is where we gave the check to Alaska for $7,200,000, and they gave us the deed to Alaska. So this is in Sitka. It's called Cathedral Hill or Castle Hill, whichever one they want to refer to it by. But this is an incredible place to take some photographs and really view history. Then this is the kind of a semi active volcano in Sitka. It's just a beautiful sight. We're also going to go out and visit Fortress of the Bears, where they have about 10 bears out there that you're going to be able to photograph and see how they play. Also, the Rapture Center, where they rehabilitate eagles, birds of prey, owls, etc. So it's great education on that. So these are the eagles. They've been injured in flight, so they actually have a surgical center where they repair the wings, etc., nurse them back to health, and then release them back into the wild. It is just a beautiful city that we'll be able to enjoy. Then we're going to cruise out again, go up into Glacier Bay, enjoy that. The waters are just absolutely gorgeous as we go across. All the marine life you're going to see, especially in Orca, in Hobart Bay, and for orca whales in down through the Inside Passage, you'll be seeing a lot of sea lions, sea otters, harbor seals, and more humpback whales again. Well, this is the jet boat that you'll take up the Keene River to touch the glaciers. That's actually how close we get to it, so you can actually reach out and touch that. That's out of Wrangell. You'll see magnificent icebergs as we go across.
Oh yeah, here it is.
This, whoops, I want to get back. This is in Frederick Sound, where, come on.
Oh yeah, here it is. Here they come.
Oh, so cool.
Oh, with the boat.
Oh man, that is beautiful.
Oh man.
Gorgeous. Actually, that's a really pretty picture. That boat is lucky. Oh my God.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, is called the bubble feed. And it's when a pod of humpback whales comes upon a school of fish. They dive below them, and you saw they make a circle around them. And then that confuses the bait fish. They all get into a tight ball. And then on command, all of those whales come right out of the water with their mouth wide open. And that's what's called the bubble feed. Now, in 2012, when my son and I went up the first time on that boat, on that vessel, we saw 12 bubble feeds in one day in Frederick Sound. Last year, I had a group on Admiralty Dream, and we saw 8 bubble feeds in one day. And one of them was so close to the boat that when they were breathing, that spray came right over on us, and you could actually smell the fish breath. So it's really fun. But we're out on these folks are out on the dib, that motorized raft, and they're just getting incredible photos of the humpbacks, etc. So it's another great experience. Also, you'll see a lot of wildlife along the way, as well as the marine life. Kayaking is also included, and that is really fun on the Inside Passage. These are the dibs that you'll be on. So there's roughly 15 to 16 people on each dib, and we'll go out to the glaciers and get close to them and watch the glaciers calve. We'll also have lunch at, I said, the Orca Point Lodge. That is just really a great place. Fresh salmon, fresh crab. It used to give us king crab, but the season's been closed for 2 years in Alaska. So now it's basically snow crab or prime rib, and incredible desserts. And of course, s'mores out by the fire as well. But it's an all-you-can-eat. This was 2 years ago, before the king crab season was closed. So it was all-you-can-eat king crab as well, and fresh salmon, as I say. So you can dine inside or outside. There's beautiful views of your vessel, the Dream Cruise out there. So you can have dinner out here, and just as the sun tries to set, but it's not going to set in Alaska at that time of year. But again, you'll be out in the dibs. This is going into Tracy Arm Fjord, probably the most incredible glacier that you'll see in Alaska. We get right up close to them. The views are just spectacular. Again, so what we want to do is we want to go up and park out here with the dibs, and that's where you'll witness glacier calving and all the marine life. These are harbor seals, and she's got a little pup with her. So they basically stay up on the ice. But again, that's what we want to see, is glacier calving as we go out. So we're, like I said, there's roughly 16 people on a dib, and we spend quite a bit of time out on that, viewing glaciers and marine life, etc. This is I'm going to just back up here. This is at Twin Sawyer Glacier, and that's our dib out here. We're out in front watching glacier calving. And my neighbors, I'm in the Villages right now, but my neighbors down the block from me were actually on that dib. So keep an eye on it as we watch the calving glaciers. Whoops. Why isn't that going?
Whoa, 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 whoa! Woo! Oh, left, left! Right there. Over there. Hey, hey!
He's probably pretty bored.
Our little skip out there with our third group is getting a show.
Might get a little ride, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was so good. Said I wasn't.
Whoa!
Whoa! Oh my God!
Oh,
Wow!
They're gonna get it.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Look at that wave! Oh my God!
They're riding the waves.
Do they have it in high gear?
Hang on. Get in behind the ice float.
Oh my gosh!
Going behind the
He's going behind us.
Oh my gosh, look at that
How
wave.
high that thing is.
Oh wow.
Oh Jesus! Hang on, guys!
Oh my
Oh my God. Linda and John are on that one.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God, you can't.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my God.
They're doing okay. Thank God that's light and buoyant. Wow. This is amazing.
So I don't know who had more fun watching that, people on the Dream cruise, on the Admiralty Dream, or the people on the Dib. The only time they said they were concerned was when they were at the bottom of the wave. They couldn't see the glacier or they couldn't see the ship. So that they went through that 3 times. But other than the fact, they got some incredible video. And they said it was fun. They had a great experience. So did the people watching and the other 30 people on the boat that were watching it, as you could hear their expressions. So we'll spend some time out on those dibs, viewing glaciers, waterfalls, icebergs, and marine life as well. We got these are the harbor seals and pups. That'll you'll see quite a few of. They're kind of cute, and inquisitive little guys. And then once again, this is the bubble feed, and these are generally we've seen all those in Frederick Sound. So this is what they look like when they come out of the water with their mouths open. All the birds flock around because they pick up the injured bait fish that are stunned when these things come out of the water. But like I say, you'll see a lot of wildlife as well. Some of the scenery is just absolutely remarkable that you'll bring home. You're going to get some incredible shots of whales, whales' tails, the when they're breaching, when they're doing a full breach where they actually come out of the water. We'll go over to Icy Strait Point, spend the day with the Tlingit natives, see how the culture of the Tlingit natives are, see how they carve their totem poles, etc. So you're going to get a full background on the culture of the Haida and Tlingit natives. There's also the largest zip line in North America is here. So there's a gondola that goes all the way up to the top and goes back down. So you can ride the gondola both ways. Or if you're really brave, you can take the zip line down. So that goes over a little over a mile long, and you're going down at about 60 miles an hour. It's fun. I've done it 4 times. But again, you're going to bring home so many memories and so many photos of all the great wildlife. When we go up into Glacier Bay, you're going to go all the way up into to the very end. So we're going to spend probably 4 hours out here, and then we'll make a stop right down here at the lodge. Get your passport stamped. We'll do about an hour walk through the rainforest, and then continue on down. But Glacier Bay is just a really unique little area. This is where we'll make a stop, so you can actually. This is called the Tlingit Longhouse or Ceremonial Dance Center. This is an old skeleton of a whale in Glacier Bay. So we'll go right up to Margarine Glacier there and spend the day in front of, for the couple hours in front of that. Then we'll come back into Juneau overnight, and we will, excuse me, not overnight. We're going to first we'll go out to Glacier Gardens and see these beautiful gardens. They're absolutely incredible. We'll take a tram ride through, as pictured here, and it is just one of the most amazing places to go to. Then we'll go out to Mendenhall Glacier. That's kind of a state park, if you will. We'll go to the visitor center, and then you have a chance to walk out to the glacier itself. This is the two of our guests right at the bottom of the glacier with that piece of ice. Also, waterfalls coming down from the glacier. Just some great photographic memories that you can get. Then we'll overnight. The next morning after breakfast, we'll take you out to the Juneau Airport. You will board your aircraft and fly home. So in your cabin, as I said, there will be heavy rain gear for your use. There's a heavy hooded jacket, also a heavy set of rain pants. And these are by Tundra Tech. They're very heavy and very warm as well. And then there'll also be a set of boots. So we have all of our tours basically cover the same thing. We have all your attractions and activities outlined in your itinerary. All your meals on board, of course, will be there. Corresponding gratuities, airport meet and greet. We do fully guided both on land and sea with one of my employees. All your luggage handling will be taken care of. Sales taxes, fees, port charges are all included. And then your flight from Anchorage to Juneau, if you're doing the land and the cruise, will also be included. The catamaran gratuities, all hotels and restaurant meals on the catamaran or on land will be included. And then you get that custom blue jacket. That's one of the best parts of the whole trip. You're going to have hundreds of people ask you about that. These jackets are the Alaska state flag colors. So when Benny Benson designed this, he was 12 years old. He entered the contest for design of a new flag, and he came up with blue and gold. The blue is for the blue skies of Alaska. The gold is for the gold in the hills. Then our logo will be over on the left side. That's a Tlingit raven, and that's one of the two head clans of the Tlinkits. So there's the raven and the eagle. Then there's sub clans like the salmon, the bear, the sea lion, etc. Over on the left side, right side, we will embroider your name into that. The first year you travel, you have no stars. The second year, you get 2 stars. Third year you travel with us, you get 3 stars. And the reason people want to buy that jacket, and people will ask you about it, is you tell them, they'll say, "Where did you get that?" And you tell them you paid $5,000 for that jacket, but you got a free trip to Alaska. And the reason is because they see the back of it. And that is the Alaska state flag, the Big Dipper and North Star. And then it'll say Alaska 2024, 2025. So those will be sent to you roughly 30 days before your trip starts. Then we have the Platinum Inside Passage trip. And that started in basically 2021. We had to do that because we had all the people booked during the pandemic. And in 2020, nobody did anything. Everything was closed. So we had all these people booked for land and cruise. But unfortunately, in 2021, Canada was closed for cruise ship traffic. They couldn't come in through Canada. And that went into a good portion of 2022. So my daughter came up with this plan that we could do the inside passage and the land by using a private vessel. So basically what we did was they would did the 7 or 8 day, 10-day land tour. Some may have came in early and went fishing, or stayed later and went fishing out of Sitka. But this is the inside passage, Platinum Inside Passage vessel. This is the big cruise ships. So you can see there's incredible difference between them. But what we do is we would do the land tour. And if you want to do this by yourself, you can do that without doing the land if you've already done it. But then you'd fly from Anchorage into Juneau. We will spend 4 nights in a hotel in Juneau. The next morning, we're going to board that small vessel and we're going to go up into Glacier Bay. Spend the day up in Glacier Bay. Come back. We'll stop at the lodge, get our passport stamped, and then we'll come back into Juneau. We'll have dinner. The next morning after breakfast, we'll head up the Lynn Canal all the way up to Skagway. We'll spend the day in Skagway and then come back through that beautiful trip back into Juneau. The following day, we'll come out and we're going to go over to Icy Strait Point. Spend the day in Icy Strait Point, and then we'll come back again overnight in Juneau. The following day, we're going to take our luggage and we're going to go down the Chatham Strait, and we're going to go up Peril Strait. And in Peril Strait, we're going to go through these narrows again and down into Sitka. And we're going to spend 2 nights in Sitka and then fly home. So basically, you're covering all of the inside passage with land and cruise. So this is what we had to do in 2021, 2022, and we're doing it, of course, in 2023. This will be the last year we're going to do that, is 2024. So we still have a great chance to see it. So basically, as I say, we're going to go into, basically we do it this way. We go into Juneau, then Glacier Bay, then Haines, Skagway, Juneau, and then the last 2 nights in Sitka. So it's kind of reversed this year. But Sitka is a beautiful city. As I said, it was the original capital of Russia. We'll visit St. Michael's Cathedral, have a private tour through that by the bishops. We'll go out to Sitka Historical Park, which is all remembrances of the Tlingit natives. You're going to see some just marvelous totem poles and works of the Tlingit culture. We'll go into the Longhouse or Ceremonial Center. You'll have some Tlingit dancers do a show for us. You're going to just really understand how the Tlingit culture from thousands of years ago has been carried forward. We're also going to go out to the Raptor Center, and you'll see how they repair injured birds of prey, eagles, peregrine falcons, owls, etc. We're also going to go out to the Fortress of Bears. and see they got 10, 12, 13 bears there that you can experience as well. So they're really kind of playful, and watch them play with their toys, etc. Then we're going to take you out to Mendenhall Glacier in Juneau, and you're going to get a chance to again walk to the glacier, go to the visitor center, get some photos, some great photos. Then we'll go over to Glacier Gardens, explore that, get some great photos again, ride the tram. Then we're in Juneau. We're going to stay there for 4 nights. So this is in the Red Dog Saloon. Everybody wants to go in the Red Dog. Have some fun in there. Have a couple beers. Enjoy the ambience of the old Juneau Saloon. Then we're going to go up into Skagway, go up the Lynn Canal. You're going to see just some beautiful waterfalls. As we cruise up to Skagway, we'll have enough time in Skagway that you can actually ride the White Pass and Yukon Railway down to Carcross and back. That's the 1898 Gold Rush Trail. So it's a lot of interesting history. We'll also visit the Red Onion, the Gold Rush brothel in Skagway. As I said, you can ride the White Pass and Yukon Rail. That's really a great experience to take in the Gold Rush history. That is going to take you down, like I say, down through the Chilkoot Trail. Just an absolute beautiful area. Then we'll go into Haines, Alaska. Neat little place. We'll overnight in Haines. And then we're going to visit the Hammer Museum. It's a world collection of hammers. And then we're going out to a native Tlingit reservation. We'll also stop by the Bald Eagle Foundation. And this is the Tlingit ceremonial center that we'll go into and learn all about the culture of the Tlingits. Then we'll cruise back down the inside passage of the Lynn Canal, and we're going to just have some beautiful sightseeing. We'll then go into Tracy Arm Fjord. You're going to see all those canyon glaciers again. The scenery is absolutely spectacular. The whales that we're going to see, the sea lions, sea otters, harbor seals, everything is just absolutely spectacular as we travel all of the inside passage. Like I say, humpback whales, orca whales, sea otters, sea lions, harbor seals, puffins, eagles. I mean, it's a photographer's dream to see that. So on the Platinum Inside Passage, the whole downstairs is climate controlled, and that's where your seating is. There's upstairs is there's seating up there also, but it's a great place to be to get photos and explore the entire 180-degree view of the humpbacks and again, hopefully we'll see a couple of the bubble feeds as we go by. And as I say, just watch for the birds. That's so these are things you can't see on the big cruise ship. So again, we'll go into Glacier Bay Lodge, get your passport stamped. We'll do about an hour walk around through the rainforest, see the remains of these huge whales. Go come into Juneau overnight and then the next day we'll fly home out of Juneau. The third option is to do the celebrity cruise, and that one will depart from Seward. So you can do a land tour, a 10-day land tour combined with this 7-day cruise, or you can just do the 7-day cruise, or you just do the land tour. So you can do what you want. We're adaptable. We want to service your needs in Alaska. So we'll board that in Seward, Alaska. It's like I said, about 2,200 people. Has outdoor pool, indoor pools, casinos, 3 dining rooms, buffets, etc. So the first day out, we're going to go into Hubbard Glacier. And Hubbard Glacier is the fastest moving advancing glacier in Alaska. That has moved up to 100 feet per day. It's advanced, gone forward. That isn't what it does every day, but usually it moves about a foot. But they called it, back in the days, they called it the Galloping Glacier because it moves so fast. So we'll visit that, watch the glacier calving once again. So we'll spend a couple hours out in front of the Hubbard Glacier. We'll do some great group photos in front of the glacier with you and your blue jackets on. And then we'll come into the capital city of Juneau. We're going to spend pretty much the full day in Juneau, probably about 11 hours. So we'll get in there usually around 8 o'clock in the morning, probably until 8 o'clock at night, somewhere in that area. So there's a lot of things to do. There's 2 great museums. Of course, the state capitol is here. The oldest Russian Orthodox church is here. There's a gondola that goes up to the top of the mountain. There's a great show up there from the blankets. And there's a great, incredible gift shop up there. Then you can also, we'll go up to Skagway the next day. In Skagway, you can take the White Pass and Yukon Rail and take that all the way up to Carcross and back. One of the greatest excursions you could do in Alaska, because you're going to learn all about the gold rush history and take the same trail up that the prospectors did in 1898. So this is the interior of those old time cars. We'll have pretty much a car to ourselves as we descend back down from Carcross back into Skagway once again. Then we'll go over to Icy Strait Point the next day. And in Icy Strait Point, this is Tlingits again. So this is actually a Tlingit cannery where they can salmon and send them down to Seattle. This is a Tlingit dance, there's ceremonial center. So we'll see the Tlingit dancers in there. That gondola goes all the way from here up to the top of the mountain. And then, like I say, if you're adventurous, you can do what these folks are doing, and they're zip lining down. But that's what the zip lines actually look like. So you're not standing, you're holding on, you're sitting in a chair basically. Really fun, like I said. Then we'll head down to Ketchikan, be our last stop in Alaska. We'll spend roughly about 8 to 9 hours in Ketchikan. Ketchikan is the salmon capital of the world. We're going to, you have the opportunity to go out. There's 2 Tlingit settlements here. There's Saxman Village, and then there's Totem Bight State Park. And you're able to access these ceremonial centers, or as they call them, a longhouse. And that entrance is very small. Uh, the whole story behind that is uh, that was their safety net, was to be in there if any of their opposing uh, people battle were after it. So they'd have to bend down to get through that door. And when they bent down, that put the invaders in a precarious position, and the Clinkets would take care of them that way. But they're great to explore and see. But you'll see totem pole carving, how they do that, how long it takes, and what the symbols mean on them. Really great. Another great thing to do in Ketchikan is the Deadliest Catch Aleutian Ballad. So this is actually going to go out and do everything they do on the Deadliest Catch. This particular boat, it's owned by Captain Dave, and it hit a rogue wave out of Dutch Harbor. It rolled the boat over, and almost everybody lost their lives. But unfortunately, it happened. But fortunately, they all are lived to talk about. But it's a great excursion to go on. So you're going to go out. You're going to see how they put their nets down, how they set the nets, how they pull them up, get the crabs out of them, and see these crabs, these humongous Alaska king crabs. So it's really a great experience to do this. It's about a 3.5 hour tour. Then we'll leave Ketchikan. We'll sail down. The next day will be a sea day, and then we'll be coming into Vancouver, British Columbia, sailing under the Lionsgate Bridge about 7 o'clock in the morning, and we'll come into the Canada Place Pier dock, and then we'll disembark from there. Now, you can either go to the Vancouver airport, or we can arrangements to go to the Seattle airport by a transfer. But we also highly recommend, if you're there in Vancouver, Vancouver is just a really beautiful cosmopolitan city. It's clean, it's safe. What we recommend to do is to overnight for maybe 1 or 2 nights, and then go over to Victoria. That is just spectacular. This is the Palace Hotel, or excuse me, the capital of British Columbia at night, but you can visit it in daytime as well. This is the Empress Hotel, the world famous. It really is world famous. That's over in Vancouver, Victoria, excuse me. And then, of course, Bouchard Gardens is just one of the most spectacular spots to see. And they also have an incredible winery there as well. So then you can come back and then either, like I say, either fly from Vancouver or from Seattle, and we can help you with all that, all those flight arrangements. So again, just to reiterate what I said, all your attractions and activities are included in your land portion. All your meals and adult beverages on the land portion, all corresponding gratuities, airport meet and greet and transfers. So we'll meet you at the airport in Anchorage, and then take you to the ship in Seward. Fully guided both on land and sea by my staff. All your luggage handling on land, all your sales tax fees, port charges, etc. All your catamaran gratuities are taken care of. All the hotels, restaurant meals, and of course, custom blue jackets again. And I kind of went over what those are, but those will be included, with all your packet. It'll come about, 30 days prior to departure. So now that I've given you all that information on the inside passage, maybe we got some questions or maybe get some things in the chat room. But that's the three options you have. So you got the Alaska Dream cruise on the Admiralty Dream. You've got the Platinum Inside Passage with 4 nights in, 7 nights in hotels, and then the cruise ship where you're staying on the cruise ship for 7 days. So let's see what we have, Paige.
All right, so I do have some questions that came in with the registration. So we'll ask those and then I'll start unmuting everybody. So are scooters okay to use on the cruise ships?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. All right. Next question, you kind of addressed it here at the end, but how would, if they're doing celebrity, how would they get to Seward?
If they're doing just the cruise,
It doesn't specify, but if you
well,
want
if
to
they're,
go,
if they're doing a land and a cruise, we will take them to the ship. If they're doing just the cruise, we can arrange that right with celebrity. They'll be picked up at the airport and either take the train down or one of the coaches. They have
Okay.
transfers for.
Okay. And then next question, last question in the registrations is, I've heard that there's not a very good likelihood of seeing marine life from the large ships. Is this true?
Unfortunately, yes. If they want to see marine life and wildlife, you've got to do one of the small boats, small vessels, because we're not on a schedule. The cruise ships are on a schedule. They can't just stop. They can't get into those areas like Frederick Sound and where we go, where the whales and marine life and wildlife is. So yes, that is unfortunately the case.
All right, well, that's all the questions I had in registration. Does anybody have any questions for John Senior here at the end? Feel free to unmute yourself, or if you want to type it in the chat and I can ask him as well.
I confused them.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, I actually, I don't have my brochure in front of me, and maybe it's all spelled out. But if I'm wondering about the cost. Well, the first question I had was just to clarify that if we just do the cruise, the flight there is extra. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And our office can arrange that for you.
Okay.
They can research that for you.
Okay. And then in terms of the cost of the I think we were looking maybe at the smaller one, the Dream Cruise. Am I right that it's about 15,000 for one room? Of course, it depends on your room.
Yeah, that's the land. That's the land and the boats. So it's roughly 18 days.
Oh, that would be the land and the cruise.
I've actually got my book right here, and usually the girls in the office take care of this.
Uh-huh.
I just tell them what's available.
Yeah, and that's okay. I can also call back later for more specific?
I have it pulled up already here. So, I know there's some cabins that are sold out already, but I know, so basically for a double, it would be, yeah, you're about right.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, that was for the Dream Cruise one.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, just to reiterate again, that when John and I did that in 2012, we saw more of the real Alaska than we did in 50 cruises on
Mm,
the big cruise ships. I mean, it's more expensive, but you know, it's a once in a lifetime experience. And what you're going to see and what you're going to remember and what you are going to experience is just incredible. The
mhm,
nice thing about it is everything is included. You're not paying for anything.
mhm.
Everything. You know, you're not paying for excursions like you do on the big ship. Everything is included. So you know before you leave what the total cost of your tour is.
Mhm. Okay. And the Platinum Inside Passage boat, that is a different boat than what's used for the Alaska Dream Cruise.
Yes,
Yes.
the Platinum doesn't have a restaurant on it, so
Uh-huh.
we cater our meals on it, and we're staying in hotels every night.
Yep.
But you're going to have a lot of the same experiences you do off the Dream Cruise.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Yeah.
And Amy, too, if you have any questions, obviously feel free to call our office, but I saw kind of where you're from here on the registration. So, our office is actually in Lake City, so feel free if you're ever in the area to swing by, and
Yeah.
Jenny or Deanna or whoever is there will certainly be happy to help. So,
That sounds great. Yeah, yeah, it's very convenient for me.
all right. Yeah. All right. Any other questions, anybody?
Mm. Sounds beautiful.
Oh, it is. It's incredible. Actually, I did it last year, and Paige did it last year as well.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, we'll wrap it up. As I mentioned too, I am recording, so I will get that replay sent out here by the end of the day. So if you want to share it with anybody, or if you come up with some more questions and you want to rewatch it, feel free to do so. But if nobody has any questions, we'll close it out.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have you folks have a great weekend.